welcome to my kitchen. Well, today is Saturday, and tomorrow at our church we're having a soup and sandwich supper. So what I'm going to make is cheesy corn chowder, and I think it'll be a really good thing to take to the church and share. Now, don't worry about missing any ingredients because I'm going to put a list of the ingredients down below in the description. So if you miss anything as we go along, you can pick it up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this is a couple of tablespoons of bacon grease. It is left over from the bacon drippings that I made the crumbles with. This is 1 pound of bacon that I cooked crisp and crumbled it, and we're going to use part of the grease from that to saute our onions. As soon as this melts, I'm going to add, this is 1 large onion that I have chopped, and we're going to be adding that. So it looks pretty good. Let's add that in there, and we're just going to cook these until they're translucent. And got a few more here to get out. All right. And they can be coarsely chopped. This does not have to be chopped fine, so I just put them in my chopper for a little bit. And I'm going to cook these again until they just start to get translucent. Now I'm making a very large pot. I'm making enough to go around at the church dinner tomorrow. You can easily cut this recipe in half for whatever you may need for your family. Okay. These onions are beginning to get translucent. Now also, if you wanted to at this time, you could add a couple of cloves of garlic crushed and cook that in there with it. Personally, my husband and I don't care for garlic, so I don't put it in there, but I do put these onions in it. And they're starting to look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to finish cooking these, and when they get a little close, when they get done, I will be right back to show you what to do next. Okay, our onions are pretty well cooked. They've reached the translucent stage. So now I'm going to start with a 32-ounce carton of chicken broth. And I'm just going to put that in. That's a 32 ounce, and I'm going to start another one. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. I've used about half of it. I'm going to stop right there and get my potatoes. Now this is about 5½ cups of potatoes, and you see I cut them to make them bite-sized when they're cooked. So we're going to go ahead and add these. And I'm going to add just a little more of the broth to this. I'm going to add the rest of it. So this took 2 32-ounce cartons of chicken broth, so I'm going to set those aside. Okay, and I am going to bring this to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, we're going to cut the heat back, and we are going to simmer these potatoes. I'll put a lid on it, and we're going to simmer these potatoes covered for just about 20 minutes. And then I'll be back with you to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, my potatoes have been cooking for about 20 minutes now, and you can see they're tender. They're looking pretty good here. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to add 2 1-pound packages of cut corn. Okay, let me just stir that a little bit. All right, we're going to add about 4½ cups of milk. I'm just going to stir that. Okay, and this is 2/3 a cup of cornstarch mixed in 1 cup of water that I'm going to add. And you can see this has completely filled up my crock pot, and that's exactly what I wanted. I mean, not my crock pot, my Dutch oven, because I'm going to be refrigerating this overnight, heating it up in the morning, and transferring it over to my crock pot to keep warm and take over to the church for the, it's a Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, and so it is S-O-U-P-E-R, bowl, Sunday. So they're just having the soup and sandwich dinner just kind of as a get-together. But to this, I'm going to add just about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I don't want to add too much salt because we're going to be adding cheese later, and that has the salt content, and also going to be adding bacon to it. Okay. Now I don't want this to boil, and because the milk solids tend to separate when you let things boil, so I'm not going to let this boil. I do want to bring it to a boil and then turn it down. So we're going to do that. And once it does that, we're going to simmer it until it, about 15 minutes on a low temperature until it starts to thicken. And when that happens, I will be back with you and show you what we're going to do after that. Okay, I just checked on my soup and you can see it has thickened up. I did wind up having to add a little more cornstarch to it because it was not thickening the way I wanted it to. But it's doing very well now because you want this to be pretty thick. You know, it's a chowder, so you don't want it to be super thin. Okay, and you will need to stir it, not constantly, but you will need to stir it frequently too. And I'm going to add just a little more salt to it because that was not hardly enough salt. So we're going to salt that a little more. And I've got this on a very, very low heat because I don't want it to scorch. Starting to look pretty good. Okay, and so I'm just going to let this sit here a little bit longer and continue to cook just a little bit. I want to make sure that the cornstarch we added is cooked well. We don't want that. We don't want it to have a starchy taste like that. So want to make sure we cook that cornstarch really well, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I still have this on a very low heat. And what I'm going to add now is 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. And I'm just kind of eyeballing that. And we're going to stir that in just till it melts. I don't want it to, we don't want the cheese to separate and become grainy looking and kind of curdle. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't want our cheese to curdle. So I'm just going to kind of stir that in. And then we're going to add our bacon. Now, if you want to, you can save the bacon for a garnish too. You don't have to add it at the same time you add the cheese. All right. Okay, and I will be back with you in a moment. And we'll go from. Okay, well, I have taken my soup up and had to take just a little taste. Let's see how this turned out. Okay, I think it's pretty good. I think they're going to enjoy that. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make this recipe, and I hope that you'll try it for yourself. So if you enjoyed this recipe and you enjoy my videos, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching.